Level 1. You are a doctor. You swore an oath to save lives. But in your hands, a syringe does not cure. It melts human flesh, and thousands of innocent people are waiting for your next experiment. This is your life. You are Shiro Ishii, a brilliant medical student at Kyoto Imperial University. Everyone sees your genius, but they do not see the darkness growing inside you. You are arrogant and obsessed with glory. You believe standard medicine is too slow, too peaceful. When you read about the banned biological weapons of Europe, you do not feel horror. You feel inspiration. You realize that microscopic germs can defeat entire armies. You decide to build a kingdom of plague. But to build it, you must first convince the high command. You must show them that steel kills individuals, but disease conquers nations. Your journey into the abyss begins with a single drop of infected blood. Level 2. The military leaders listen to your wild presentations. You speak with absolute confidence, showing them flasks of deadly pathogens. You argue that biological warfare is cheap and highly effective for an island nation. They are convinced. You are promoted to military doctor and given a secret budget. You travel through Europe, studying their chemical facilities. You return to Japan with a clear vision. You need a place far from prying eyes, a place where laws do not exist. Manchuria, occupied by the Japanese army, is the perfect wasteland. You build your first laboratory in the remote village of Bayan. It is called the Zhongma Fortress. It looks like a prison, but it is a factory of death. You start recruiting assistants, young doctors who believe in your mission. They look up to you as a savior, unaware that you are leading them into hell. Level 3. Inside the high walls of Zhongma, you begin the testing. The local people are arrested, labeled as subversives. You look at these prisoners, and you make a crucial decision. They are no longer human. You order your staff to refer to them only as Maryuta, the Japanese word for logs. If a log dies, you simply get another one. You inject them with cholera, anthrax, and typhoid. You watch them through reinforced glass windows. You write down every detail in your leather notebooks. How many days until the fever burns them, how much blood they vomit, how their organs fail. The smell of decay fills the corridors, but your expression remains cold. You believe you are doing this for the glory of the emperor. But the fortress is not secure enough. A massive prisoner escape forces you to burn it down. You need a bigger playground, a fortress that no one can ever escape. Level 4. You build a massive complex in Pingfan, near Harbin. It is the new headquarters of Unit 731. It has over 100 buildings, advanced incinerators, and a private airfield. It is a state-of-the-art facility, disguised as a water purification unit. The world believes you are protecting soldiers from disease, but you are cultivating the apocalypse. You breed millions of plague-infected fleas inside glass jars. You design special porcelain bombs that can drop pathogens without destroying them. The scale of your operations is unmatched. You command thousands of scientists, making them complicit in your madness. You are now the undisputed king of this secret kingdom. No one dares to question your authority. But the laboratory experiments are no longer enough. You want to see the real effect of your creations. You want to feel the power of life and death in your bare hands. Level 5. You establish a strict routine for the new arrivals. They are fed well to keep their bodies healthy for the tests. You need pure data, undamaged by starvation. When they enter your labs, they are forced to wear numbers. You watch them through the observation ports. A mother holding her child, a young soldier, a local farmer. To you, they are just raw materials. You order your men to test the limits of human endurance. You put prisoners inside high-pressure chambers until their eyes pop out of their sockets. You spin them in giant centrifuges until they lose consciousness. You expose their limbs to freezing wind, pouring cold water until the flesh turns solid like ice. You strike the frozen arms with wooden sticks, listening to the hollow sound. You write it all down, calculating the exact temperature of frostbite. Level 6. You walk down the white corridors of the special prison. The air is thick with the scent of chemicals and fear. You stop in front of Laboratory 4. Today, you are testing the efficiency of plague. You inject a young man with a new strain of pestilence. He shakes with fever, his skin turning black with buboes. But you need to know how his internal organs are reacting. Right now, you cannot wait for him to die, because death changes the tissue. You order a vivisection. You strap him to the steel table, fully awake. Your assistants prepare the scalpels. But you had no idea what was coming next. The war is shifting. The empire is losing ground. But your experiments must reach their climax. You ignore the screams, focusing only on the precision of the cut. To you, this is not murder. This is the absolute peak of your science. Level 7. The vivisections become a daily routine in Unit 731. You do not use anesthetics, because you believe they distort the experimental results. You slice open chests, removing lungs and livers while the heart is still beating. You amputate limbs and sew them back on the opposite sides of the body to study blood flow. Your assistants become numb to the horror, laughing as they carry out your orders. You even perform experiments on pregnant women, infecting them with syphilis to see if the disease passes to the fetus. You look at the blood on your apron, and you feel no guilt. You believe your data will revolutionize modern medicine. You are creating a library of pain, documented with high-speed cameras and detailed medical drawings. You are no longer just a military doctor. You are the architect of an unspeakable hell. Level 8. You decide to test your weapons on a larger scale. You order your bombers to fly over peaceful Chinese cities, dropping porcelain bombs filled with plague-infected fleas. You release cholera and typhoid into the local water wells. Within days, epidemics sweep through the villages. Thousands of peasants die in agony, their bodies rotting in their homes. You send your medical teams disguised as civilian doctors to study the outbreak. They take blood samples from the dying and then abandon them to their fate. You watch the reports with satisfaction. Your biological weapons are working. You have proven that a tiny insect can destroy an entire province. You dream of using these weapons against the United States, planning a secret mission to drop plague on California. You are at the height of your power, but the clock is ticking. Level 9. August 1945. The Soviet army crosses the border into Manchuria. The Japanese Empire is collapsing. You receive a secret telegram from Tokyo. You must destroy Unit 731 and erase all evidence of your crimes. The panic sets in. You order the immediate execution of all remaining prisoners, using poison gas. You force your staff to throw the bodies into the massive incinerators. You blow up the laboratories, the prison blocks, the secret research vaults. You warn your scientists that if anyone speaks of what happened here, they will be hunted down and killed. You board a private plane, fleeing back to Japan with your precious leather notebooks. You hide in the ruins of Tokyo, waiting for the Allied forces. You know they are looking for you, but you are not afraid. You have a plan. Level 10. The American investigators track you down. They place you under house arrest, questioning you about the rumors of human experimentation. You look at the young officers, and you see their ambition. You know what they want. They do not want justice. They want your research. They want the data that no ethical scientist could ever obtain. You open your leather case and show them the slides of human tissue, the detailed charts of biological warfare. You offer them a trade, your complete research archive, in exchange for total immunity from war crimes prosecution. The room is silent. You hold the breath of 3,000 dead souls in your hand. The Americans make their decision. They agree to your terms. You are officially declared dead, and your records are classified. The seal of secrecy is locked, and you walk away a free man. Level 11. You return to a quiet life in Tokyo. While your military commanders are hanged at the Tokyo trials, you walk the streets in broad daylight. You even open a local clinic, treating patients for free. The neighborhood knows you as a kind, elderly doctor. They have no idea about the screams of Ping Fan or the 3,000 souls buried under the ashes of your laboratories. You live in comfort, never showing a single shred of remorse. You believe you outsmarted the world, that you used science to conquer both death and justice. In 1959, throat cancer finally catches up to you. You die in a hospital bed, surrounded by your family. You never paid for your crimes. You escaped the hangman, but you could not escape the judgment of history. And now you are history.